Alright, new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a triple bug team for the Love Cup, and actually this team looks kinda balanced, so I thought like, this might actually work out, and let's take a look if it worked out or not. We're going to have here the Crosser in the lead, having access to the move Smackdown, being able to destroy those fire types that you don't want to face if you are a bug type. We're going to have the Say-Sop of Ariados, which is a very good Say-Sop in this current meta. You're going to be able to go ahead and spam those charge moves like you went so fast to the Cross Poison, which has a chance to buff your attack, and you have also the other move Lunge there, which has a guarantee to debuff the opponent's attack. So this Pokemon has a lot of play, as we see my opponent playing it as well here. I'm running Bug Bite on my Wormadam, which is something that is a little bit more unique. In hindsight, I think Confusion was better. Like, Confusion is most likely better than Bug Bite. Had a lot of scenarios like this one here where Confusion would have been way better. I thought I might encounter some matchups, especially against something like the water type Pokemon like Alomomola, where I might be able to just farm them all the way down with that. But sadly, this was not really the case, so we're going to have to stick with this one here. We see the Druddigan coming in against us. It's looking pretty horrible for us so far. We will be able to take this Night Slash here, but now I basically am forced to farm them all the way down, and I have to hope that the opponent's Ariados is not in another move yet, as we will be able to farm them all the way down. We can go ahead, go for the Iron Head here. Please don't be in another move after this one. Let's see, they are not. Let's see if we can kill them with that even. I don't know, and it does not do enough, but one more fast move is enough. And this is going to be a good first game. Next opponent, Horrible Lead, Medicham there. We're going to actually swap into our Wormadam. Against Medicham, Wormadam is the worst answer basically in the back. So like if you face a fighter in the lead, I would actually swap into your Wormadam compared to your Ariados. Ariados is your best answer for fighting type Pokemon. As we face here the Crustle, which should actually take a move from my Wormadam, which I didn't know. Exeter does not knock me out, but I will be able to farm them all the way down now with my own Crustle here, which will be able to now swap into the Ariados again against the opponent's Medicham that's coming in here, and we will be able to go for some lunge damage, which gonna do some decent amount of damage here. But yeah, how does it in general went with this team as we face up against a Shadow Electrode here, which is kind of cool. It's actually pretty okay. Like, actually, I thought it would be a little bit worse, though, because Bug is the worst possible typing in the game. Like, Bug in general has horrible moves usually here. Lunge is still okay, but in general, not the best moves available, especially fast moves. There's not really any good fast move for Bug typing. Like, you have Fury Cutter that generates energy a little bit faster than the 110 move, but basically does 0 damage compared to other 110 moves. Then you have Infestation, which generates more energy but is even worse in terms of the damage that it deals, and yeah, you don't really have a lot of options there. So like, it's not really the best in that regard, but also like in terms of weaknesses, like bug types have so many weaknesses here. Like rock, like fire, like flying, like so many weaknesses for the bug typing. It's really a bad typing in general, so actually, for that regard, we went kinda decent-ish with that one. It's actually kinda interesting to see that Ariados is such a good Say-Sop in this current meta, because you have basically nothing that really wants to come into it. I guess Macago wants to come into it, but the rest is very neutral against it. Here we actually make a kind of mistake here. We see the Alomomola coming in here, which has access to, of course, Hydro Pump, but if they go into this, they're most likely even weaker to this Wormadam in the back there, and I kinda, yeah, didn't really go for that play that I would swap out here. I should have swapped out eventually for sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Bug Buzz. Sadly, I actually never got a defense drop, I think, from Bug Buzz, which is a 30% chance. Like, it's the same as Crunch, but like, I haven't got this at all, and I went for like, I think 4 or something, so kind of sad. They're going to knock me out. And we see the Slowbro in the back. If we swapped out, we would have most likely completely hardwalled the Slowbro with the other Pokemon here. Would have been able to farm down as well after I debuffed them. But sadly, like this, they can go for one Psychic, and the Psychic will not knock me out yet, but it will put me into a range where they can farm me down. So if I swapped out before, I would have been actually fine against the Alomomola, but sadly I didn't, and so we're going to lose this game here. Next opponent, we see another Crustle. So we have a Crustle Mirror. I have a way better IV Crustle that I could build, but like, I don't really want to build it yet, so yeah, you see the IVs on the right side. They are horrendous on my Crustle, like they're really bad, but I will be able to basically, yeah, not even win switch advantage back here. They're going to have also 2 bug types already. That's kind of wild. Do they also run basically the same team that I run? That would be hilarious. Let's see. We're going to be able to go for another charge move here. Going to go for the Iron Head, gonna get the shield. I'm just going to let them debuff me and just try to farm up extra energy because everything what they do is resisted here anyway. I can swap into my own Ariados and I will be able to clear the debuff while still keeping my Wormadam healthy. I should have stayed in a little bit longer with my Wormadam though. Should have tried to get some more energy as they really do basically nothing with the Ariados against me anyway. We see the Crustle coming back in here, which we're going to Poison Sting down. This is only an Excisor for sure. This is not enough for one Rock Slide. As we see Scolipede coming in. So they're going to have actually a triple bug team as well, which is hilarious because when do you see triple bug teams in the Go Battle League? This is something that is kind of wild. As we will see here that the Wormadam has a great time against it. The best move that they could go for is a Mega Horn, and I guess they're running Excisor because they went for a Sludge Bomb here, and Excisor is, I think, a little bit worse still than the Sludge Bomb. But yeah, they're on Excisor here, exactly. And I will be able to still even take a move, I think, from the Ariados if I wanted to. But at this point of time, this is looking pretty decent. We can go ahead, go for one charge move here. Gonna get the Iron Head, gonna get the last shield, and we can go for another one here, allowing us to knock out the opponent and also win the game with that. We can just farm the Scolipede, and this is going to be it for that one. Good game there. Next opponent here, we're going to see Ariados in the lead. This is a very good lead for us, but we're going to see now an Electrode coming in. I should have swapped out way earlier, and most likely I shouldn't have swapped out into my Wormadam. I kind of thought my Wormadam would be a little bit more bulky than what I expect, like what I get here. Also, I should have kept my Wormadam alive because we had an Ariados in the lead. Like, I completely forgot about that one. Here you see me again going for the defense drop there, which should have been really nice together with the Bug Bite damage, but hey. But I actually should have went into my Ariados immediately against the Electrode. I actually have no idea what I was doing. This doesn't make any sense at all what I did there. And now I think my opponent can just realign, which is really horrible for me, as we actually see that they're going to have a Water type in the back. This doesn't make any sense at all what I did there in this game. I could have easily won this most likely if I just played it better. Like this, I just like it's played so bad this game here. Should have just went directly into my Ariados against the opponent's Electrode. I would have been able to outspeed them. I would have been able to drop their attack, and I would have been able to realign my Pokemon, which would have been very nice. So like this, I just misplayed this game. So this was actually a winnable game. I didn't notice that while I was playing this game here, but good to know that this was actually a game that I could have won if I just played better. Good to know. We will see here that they can go still for some lunge damage here. I can swap out, try to clear the debuff. They're gonna go into the Alomomola. And like this, I'm going to have to try to get the attack boost here. Attack boost actually kind of could save me, so we're going to go and spam those cross poisons here. Let's see, can we get the attack boost? 12.5 chance to double boost my attack. This would win me the game here, and we are not able to do that. And you know what is making this even better is just watch this here, please. Like, honestly, we just really try to fish for it the entire time. We try 3 times here, and my opponent goes just for 1 and gets the boost immediately. It's just like, yeah, like it didn't matter at this point of time anymore, but like it just hurts. Just hurts to see. We see the Macago in the lead. This is also something where also I think my Aurorus IVs are really hurt me here, but they're going to swap out into a Wigglytuff, which I'm happy with because I have my Ariados now. And against Wigglytuff, I can go for 1 cross poison. Thanks to the prior damage from the Excisor, I will be able to just farm them all the way down here before they get to a charge move, allowing me to go for even lunge against the opponent's Macago here. I expect them to have another Fairy type in the back there, so I will be able to just go ahead and actually shield this move up here. Going to be a Stone Edge. I can go for more charge moves here. I should have maybe went for the cross poison instead, but I tried to farm them all the way down. It works out really fine, and I can debuff the opponent now. It's going to be a Wild Plume, so I don't even have to debuff here because I can just go for the shield. Going to swap out now, and I will be able to just force the opponent to forfeit there. They had a very toxic team with the Smackdown, the Razor Leaf, and the Charm, but this is fine for us. Which is also fine for us is this Crafty, as we can swap into our Wormadam. Wormadam will be able to take this move pretty easily, as we see now the Charizard coming in. We will be able to go for some Iron Heads, but this looks already like a bad matchup for us. We can still go and do some damage against them, but I think we just put them barely into range here for 1 Smackdown maybe, because Smackdown does actually a ton against Charizard. This is around what a Smackdown does here right now. Let's see if we can one-shot them with 1. We're going to have to take 1 move anyway, so I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be a Blast Burn, and we actually just one-shot them, allowing us to go into our Ariados, which will be able to now go ahead, go for the lunge, going to debuff the opponent. We have to still shield here because we have to respect the foul play damage. Like, foul play damage going to hurt over time. We see the Slowbro coming in. That's going to be a tough one to still win. Slowbro, of course, has access to Psychic. Not all of them are running Psychic, though, so it could be also a Sludge Bomb variant, which has also access to something like Focus Blast then. But we can go ahead, go for some lunge damage here. Show went for this one a little bit earlier, though. Shows just went straight away for it. I don't know why I didn't do, but I'm actually going to be able to catch the next charge move here from the opponent, which is amazing. Sludge Bomb coming through. I will be able to go back into my Ariados now. We can go ahead, go for one lunge here as well. This will force the final shield, I think, from my opponent. Actually, no shielding there. That's wild. I can go for one cross poison against the opponent here. This will hopefully get the final shield. It does. Can I still knock them out in time? I can go for the launch here. This should do a little bit more. Let's see if this is going to knock them out. Do we win this game? It seems like we win this game, and they are getting to that charge move with exactly 1 HP. Unfortunate, unlucky, good game to my opponent. It's just like some stuff just doesn't go your way sometimes, so... Very close one there. We see an opponent here with Slowbro. They're going to swap into their Lickitung. You might think, oh, hey, this matchup against Wormadam will be very good for me. But it actually is not. Lickitung wins the matchup against Wormadam. We have neutral moves, we have neutral charge moves, and the Lickitung just has Lick, which does hit me for neutral damage. And they're still going to be able to win this pretty easily here. As we can see here, they're going to farm me very low already. I can go for an Iron Head here. Going to get them very low as well, but look how much damage Lick just does here. We have a rank 4 version of Wormadam. This is a very bulky Pokemon, fully XL or whatever we needed to do there. And they're still going to win against me. I should have went for my charge move though in time, sure, but it's wild. I will be able to get some energy lead here with my Ariados, which is decent, but we will see here now coming in the Slowbro again. I can go for the combo play here, trying to catch the move, and also go for the Exeter, which is going to put them into range for one more lunge. As we see a Medicham coming in, this is looking pretty horrible for us. We can go for one Exeter here. This will do some nice damage as well. And we're actually going to be able to reach another one, I wanted to say, but we don't. So, I have to call the bait here, and I did get the bait call correctly, which is amazing. I have to shield now because I'm forced to. And it is a Psychic, so we're going to be able to predict the entire movement of my opponent, which is amazing, which might save us here. We will be able to go for the lunge, and then we get them very low. I predicted this is a power punch, I have to, and it is a power punch. This is amazing for us as we now will be able to go for one lunge there. They are forced to get to 2 charge moves, which they won't be able to do, and I will be able to go for the lunge and knock them out, but before they even forfeit here, so that's a good game there. Next opponent, very good lead for us. Charizard, finally, very good lead, as we see a Medicham coming in. This is an awkward one because Medicham can win this matchup in certain scenarios if they bait correctly, but otherwise we should be fine here. I will be able to shield up the first move here, which is going to be the Psychic, which is very nice. And of course we get the defense drop. This is actually more important than you might think it is, because without the defense drop you can take one Psychic, and I would have been able to just farm them all the way down. Like this, I'm forced to shield again, which is really annoying, but I can at least farm them all the way down, have 100 energy. I can go for some charge moves against the Charizard, and I will be able to actually go ahead and get them very low with that one here, as they're going to no-shield this one as well, and I can snipe them with my Crossle here, and one more fast move is enough to knock them out, and we see a Buzzwole coming in. This is amazing for us, as we will be able to go ahead, go for one X-Scissor here. This will get resisted, but like they don't really care. They have to shield anything that comes their way. We can still get to another one, and my backline is really good against the opponent's Buzzwole, so like there's no lot that they can do here. I still have a move stored. Their moves are all resisted onto my Ariados. I will be able to take this lunge, and this is going to be a very good game there, as well as this one will knock them out. Buzzwole is also something I thought of using, but then again, it does not really seem too good right now in the current meta, so I wouldn't really use it if I was you. To be fair, it's not really a good Pokemon. But here we see a Macargo against us. This is not a matchup that I would like to see, but I will be able to go for one Exeter bait, getting the shield, but they're going to get the shield back anyway. I will try to farm them all the way down here with my Wormadam, but they're most likely going to go for the Rock Tomb and swap out into their Medicham, allowing me to go into my own Ariados. Lunge coming through, Lunge going to do some nice damage, around like 40% here, as we will be able to shield up the incoming Psychic very likely here. Exactly, and I will be able to go for another lunge, allowing me to take the next Psychic as well. Actually going to go for 2 moves here. That's interesting, but I'm going to force the shield anyway with that one. They're most likely going to shield here. They want to get the Psychic on me, I would guess. And they do shield here. Again, we still don't get any boost from the cross poison, because why would we? We're still going to be able to survive this move there, which is cool, and I can go ahead and farm them all the way down with the Wormadam, which is wild. Farming down the Macargo with a resisted move there from Wormadam, it's kind of crazy. But we see now the Ariados coming in. Let's see how much damage Iron Head going to do here. It does around 50% of its health, which is amazing, because now This is looking like a very easy game to win though, and we can just go ahead, go for the Iron Hand, farm them all the way down. That's going to be it for this video, so well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely a cool team to use. A triple bug here is something that is working pretty okayish, as we can still farm down this Mage Champ and we will win with basically 1 HP in a dream. Bye bye!